This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Loud. Anyway, this is the Ramble. I'm Alex, and we'll be here until midnight tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we go out to California to talk to Larry Bubbles Brown. Hi, Larry.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah, you ever do this? You ever have this happen? It just happened to me. You take such a massive dump that the toilet won't flush. So then you start plunging it and nothing happens. Oh man, I'm telling you, life just doesn't get any better. Nothing works anymore.
That's what I was saying to somebody. Nothing works.
I mean, I used to talk about the fact that there were days that I would wake up and that day it was like anything I would touch would break. Any electronics, any television set, everything would go wrong. Just if I touched it. And then the next day everything was fine again. All right. And today, the last week, nothing has worked for me. Everything has been, all my electronics. I mean, the only thing that's working right now perfectly is the thing that records this show, Adobe Audition.
Well, that'll break. So.
And your phone call, which I wish were a little louder, but we're talking over your ancient telephone.
Landline.
Yeah. Speaking of your landline, why is it that I tried to call it and it said you're not available?
Oh, the ringer was off on the phone. I didn't know that, and I just suddenly I heard the answering machine go on, and then.
Oh, I see. Well, I didn't get an answering machine. They just said.
Yeah, it's a generic.
Oh, really? And then it just hangs up on you if you don't.
Yeah, right.
Well, Larry, at least,
my old age.
Well, something. At least, and this is good to know. You're up with the technology enough that you have an answering machine.
Yeah.
I mean, we love to talk about you on my show.
First time I saw an answering machine was on the Rockford Files. Jim Rockford. The show opened with an answering machine.
Oh, really? Okay. I got one of the first answering machines. In fact, I got it from somewhere where I literally had to rent it.
Well, that's a good technology. When was the first answering machine? The 60s?
I would say it was the 60s. Yeah. And I had an automatic phone dialer, but what it was were these punch cards, and you would put it into the phone, and it would call the person.
Oh, okay.
Now, how that was any easier than just dialing it, I have no idea, but I love the technology. I was always up with the newest technology. Mm-hmm. Now I hate technology. I think you've got the right idea.
I do, yes.
In fact, if you could just live with rotary phones, but unfortunately, I think they just tore down the last payphone here in Manhattan.
I heard that. Yeah, those are gone.
Yeah. No payphones. I just got rid of something on my cable thing because I suddenly noticed I was being paid. When sometimes you don't know this because you don't have cable. Do you have cable? No. Oh, okay. So when you get cable, they give you a package, and in this package they throw in a phone. Now the phone isn't a physical phone; it's a phone line on the cable, and you have to get your own little phone to plug into it. And I've had that forever, and I haven't used it at all. All I ever use is my what do you call it phone? My iPhone. Mm-hmm. For all my stuff. All right, for all my stuff. And I never used that landline. I can't tell you the last time I used it. In fact, I have to look it up to remember what the number was, you know. And so the other day I had this thing with the cable company where they gave me a whole new plan because the old plan had kind of expired and it was old and they didn't offer that one anymore. And two of my services disappeared and they didn't tell me any of this. It just disappeared. And so they said, well, here's a new plan. And they said, the plan's the same price as the old plan. I said, oh, good, that's terrific. And you get Disney Plus a bundle for a year. And I went, oh, that's good because I already have it, but, you know, if you can switch it over, we're fine. And then they don't tell me that I don't get HBO Plus, which I asked the guy repeatedly. And I have to chat with them. I can't phone them. You can't phone these people anymore.
Right.
And I said over and over again, do I get HBO Max? Yes, absolutely, you get HBO Max. Do I get HBO Max? Yes, absolutely, I get HBO Max. Let's call Bubs again here.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, and I asked him repeatedly, do I get HBO Max? Do I get HBO Max? Yes. Next thing I find out, I don't get HBO Max. All right. So I again chat with somebody. I went through one guy and then I went to another guy. And I said, listen, I noticed on my bill that I'm paying $25 a month for that stupid phone. Right? But I don't need that stupid phone. I don't want that service anymore. Can I take it off? He said, absolutely. I said, okay, now add the HBO Max. And that was $15 a month. So I saved $10 on my bill every month. Yeah. But it was because I didn't need that phone. I never use it. It was forced on me. I didn't know I was paying for it, you know. But apparently, after my initial deal was finished after 2 years, and I could quit anything, I didn't know that I was being charged $25 a month for that. I mean, I could have saved the 25. Several, $400 a year? Is that what I'm thinking?
People would check their bills or paying for stuff. They have no idea.
Well, people on their cable bill are paying for, what they're paying for also is the cable company has to pay a lot of these organizations to carry them. Like HBO and so on, things like that. And the cable company pays X number of dollars to HBO and X number of dollars to Discovery and blah, 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 blah. Do you know who gets the most money of any service out there? And now, since you don't have cable, you probably never heard of them. Lifetime. You're going, what? Do you know what Lifetime is?
I've heard of it, yeah.
You've heard of it. But I can't tell you the last time I watched Lifetime. And I don't think I can find anybody listening to me right now who has listened to Lifetime. And they get $9 a month per per subscriber. So, $90, $100 a year, maybe $110 of your money per year goes to Lifetime. I never use it. I don't want it. Goodbye, Lifetime. Yeah,
you should be able to pick and choose.
Yes. Well, they have a new thing here called Mix and Match, but I can't figure out how to make it work. So, anyway.
Well.
Yeah. So, how have you been doing?
Good. I don't have a rotary phone.
You don't have?
Is the rotary phone, would they still work? I don't know.
Oh, you have a touch tone?
Yeah.
I don't know. Would a rotary still work? That's a good question.
I think they might still work.
Well, wait a minute. You can always go here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me ask. Echo, do rotary phones still work? What did she say?
Here's something I found on the web. According to Hackaday.com, rotary phones are still useful and becoming more useful as time goes by.
They say rotary phones are useful and still useful as time goes by.
Wow.
I wonder if they still work. I mean, with the current system, most of it is electronic, and I don't know how. Well, I mean, it probably could read a rotary signal. I'm trying to remember how the rotary phones worked exactly. I think every time you dialed it, it clicked the number of times for each number, and then that went to wherever you were calling, and it then said, here's the final number you're calling. It was a weird kind of system. I guess maybe an early version of digital without actually being digital. So
Yeah, those old phones, you couldn't unplug them, and you couldn't destroy them with an atom bomb.
I often said that I wanted to see AT&T when they finally said, well, you can't just give them your phones. They have to have the choice if they want to buy a phone. And I thought, if I was over at AT&T, here's the ad I would do. Remember the time you got into a fight with your wife and you pulled the phone out of the wall and then you threw it against the wall? Do you remember how that phone survived all of that and all you had to do was just screw it back into the wall? We're AT&T. Because these new phones, hell, you drop them, they break, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Crap. Yeah. You're probably talking to me on one of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably if you were talking to me on a handheld phone or a corded phone. It's not a corded. Is it a corded phone or is it a wired?
It's a plug-in.
It's a plug-in. Yeah. It just, it's a little thin. It's a little tinny. Those old phones had a good sound to them.
They did, yeah, and they were. I don't know what they made them out of, but they were heavy and.
They were made out of, I think, a thing called Bakelite. And and that stuff just didn't break. You could not break one of those phones.
No.
And there was a reason why. Because the phone company still owned that phone.
They owned it, yeah. You rented it every month.
Yeah. So they didn't want to get it back eventually broken. So they made it so it wouldn't break. And don't you wish they did stuff like that today?
It'd be nice to have good stuff, yeah.
Stuff they're building today is pure crap.
It's all crap, yeah.
Breaks easily and so on and so forth, So anyway, since I saw you last, I had COVID.
Oh, yeah, you sent me an email. You said you weren't feeling horrible?
I wasn't feeling horrible. I never got to the horrible state. Marjorie's still suffering with the after effects. She's got some long haul effects going on where she's tired all the time and doesn't have energy. I have slightly lightheadedness, things like that, but nothing terrible. I didn't get it. See, what happened was I went to the emergency room. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to the emergency room and she sat in the waiting room for a while with all these diseased human beings coming in, wearing a mask, and all of that. But we figure that's where she got it.
And then you got it from her.
Then I got it from her, and I was off by a couple of days. Okay, she got it, and then I started getting symptoms on my Monday. I tested myself on Sunday, and I didn't have it. Tested myself on Monday, and I had it. I had a doctor's appointment that I was supposed to do. I called the doctor, and I had him call me back. I said, "It looks like we got COVID. What can you do about this?" He gave us a thing called Paxlovid, which is this new thing that even if you haven't been vaccinated, it can prevent you from getting a bad case of COVID. So we took it because it just kills the virus in a day.
In a day?
In a
wow.
day, yeah. And so we took that as a backstop because we've been vaccinated and boosted and all of that. But, at our age, you don't want to take any chances, all right? So we took the Paxlovid. We think that may have caused some of the after effects. But I never got it bad, but she kind of got it, she was coughing and feeling headachy and things like that, normal light flu symptoms. I didn't get any of them, so I took this Paxlovid, and so did she. So it stopped me from even really getting a big case of it. But I missed 2 shows because I was just so tired. I couldn't, couldn't do it.
Really? And that how many pills is that?
It's 2 pills. What is it? 2 pills every day at the same time, and you take them for 5 days, and that was it was 20 pills. So what would that be? Maybe we took it twice a day. Maybe I can't remember. Oh yeah. There was an evening and there was a morning. That was it. There was an evening and a morning, and we took them. And I didn't feel any real effects from it. Marjorie felt a lot of effects from it, but she was, I think, had gotten sicker than I was. And you have to do it within 5 days of first symptoms. And we had to do this fast because she was running on 5 days. I was only maybe in my second day. So, it was a bit of an adventure, and I'd like to say we had COVID, but I really didn't come down with a case of it, where I could sit here and tell you, boy, I was headachy, and I felt like crap, and blah, 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 because no. But I did feel exceedingly weak, weaker than I normally am,
Well,
yeah.
Virus is never going to disappear, Christ.
Well, you haven't gotten it yet, right?
Not yet, no.
Not yet, but then again, how much do you go out? How much do you go out?
Well, I still hit the clubs a little, so I'm definitely in some crowds of people.
Yeah. Are the clubs doing okay?
They're doing all right, yeah, but they keep talking about new variants, and that people are getting freaked out again, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, so the clubs are doing good business, are they?
Yeah, right now they're not requiring masks inside.
I think that's a mistake. I really think that's a mistake. I mean, we really should be very precautious about all of this. Am I wrong?
I think inside you got to be careful. Outside, I don't think you do, but inside, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So there we go with more problems here. But I've been going through. I went through that, and I went through that, whatever that thing was, where I fell and bumped my head on the sink and fell to the floor and had to be dragged off by the paramedics.
You've had quite a month.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe I'm thinking now, if I hadn't called the paramedics and I just laid there and then eventually started throwing up a bit, maybe I would have felt better. But the thing was, once I got to the emergency room, they gave me an anti-nausea pill, and it really worked fast. Because the thing that was the most disgusting was the nausea. I never throw up. And in fact, I threw up, but I couldn't throw up a lot because I just don't really throw up. I know
haven't thrown up in years, yeah, but that's not a pleasant feeling.
I just don't throw up. Okay. I don't know why. I think it's because looking at puke makes me want to puke. And it becomes redundant, Yeah. So I have my limits, but anyway, so I was just it was just like I was throwing up, and every time I'd lift my head, I'd feel like I had to throw up, and I couldn't get up. I just couldn't get up. I was just too lightheaded. So finally, she called the ambulance, and those guys came and they wheeled me out to the elevator and took me down and put me in the thing. But the only thing that bothers me, once I had to get a ambulance for Marjorie because she had a thing with her leg, and it was so bad she couldn't walk. And in both cases, something didn't happen with the ambulance that disappointed me. And you're paying $400 for the ambulance, I think.
That sounds cheap.
Maybe $5, okay? But what do you expect for your money?
The siren.
That's it. You're right. I didn't even have to tell you what I was thinking.
Yeah.
In both cases, no siren. And I felt like yelling out to them, although, hey, give me my money's worth. Turn on the siren, will you?
And the flashing lights.
Yeah. But they come to a stop sign and they'd stop. I mean, come on. What's an ambulance for? And then they took the bumpiest road they could find, and I'm nauseous, right?
Ugh.
It was just something. But your health's pretty good, right? How's your hernia doing? The one they were supposed to operate on, and then they didn't because the doctor had some other things to do.
Yes, I've canceled twice, and then once the surgeon couldn't make it, that was the third time. So now they've got me tentatively scheduled for September, but they said maybe November. We're really backed up. We don't know yet.
Well, you would think if they had stiffed you like they did, and you were, what happens when you're going to have an operation like that? You're kind of ready for it,
Yeah.
But you anticipated it and you worry about it and so on. And now the day comes and they say we're not going to do it, and now you got to wait till November to go through this whole thing again.
Yeah, I want it over with. Christ.
When I had my seeds implanted, my radioactive seeds, I'm a robo-man in my prostate, just before the operation, just before they were going to do it, and I'm a little anticipatory about this because, come on, I'm all in the scrubs and everything. I'm supposed to wear the gown, and they've done all the work they had to do and all the pre-interviews and all the stuff you got to go through before they take you into an operating room. And my doctor calls down and says it's been canceled. The hospital, Mount Sinai, forgot to order a part.
Really?
Yeah. There's some kind of thing that goes down in your tween where they go and they do it. It's laparoscopic and all of that. But the little gizmo that goes in my tween wasn't available, or they hadn't ordered it. And he comes down and apologizes. He says, I'm so fucking mad at this hospital. He says, I can't believe it, He said,
that's bad.
I try to do my job, and then they don't supply me with the equipment. So they put it off for a week. And then I went and I had it, okay? 1 week later, about 1 week later, they closed down the city and Mount Sinai. In other words, elective procedures, which I guess this is considered, weren't being done. So I dodged a bullet.
Wow.
Really dodged a bullet. But, look at it. I go to a hospital, get an operation. They can't operate on me because they forgot to order the part. All right? And then I have another incident. I go to the hospital, and Marjorie gets COVID in the waiting room. What, is that a hospital? I mean, don't you think they get hosed
and
down?
they've got such a good name.
Well, I mean, come on. They're so big about COVID. Wear a mask. Yeah, well, why not check the people, check the temperatures, do everything you got to do to make sure people are 6 feet apart. But everybody today is getting so loosey-goosey about this whole thing that we're starting to see a surge. I mean, and so we got it. We were so proud of ourselves. I can't tell you. We go around bragging. No, we haven't gotten COVID yet. You've gotten COVID? What kind of filthy person are you? And we were so proud of it that we hadn't gotten COVID. And all of a sudden we get it because I got to go to the hospital. That should be the safe place to go.
You would think.
You would think. Yeah. So that was the sum total of what happened.
Well, like you said, nothing works. Supply lines are falling apart. You can't get a flight anymore apparently without cancellation.
Well, look, anybody who tries to travel right now is out of their goddamn mind.
I'd be afraid to fly right now.
Well, wouldn't be afraid to fly. What I'd be afraid of is that I'd be sitting there in the goddamn airport for 24 hours before my plane took off.
Someone told me I forget what airport they were. It was so crowded you couldn't even sit on the floor, and that's how. So talk about spreading COVID.
Well, I talked to somebody. There are these gas station rest stops throughout the South called Buc-ee's. That's where you get your gas and then you can go in and get lunch. Mm-hmm. She said she pulled into a Buc-ee's and they had the cheapest gas prices she had seen. It was something like $4.25 a gallon, something like that. you couldn't find a parking place in Buc-ee's, and these were people on the road. This is over the 4th of July weekend. So,
Ugh.
yeah. So don't go to Buc-ee's.
No.
You never heard.
Buc-ee's.
You never heard of Buc-ee's, right?
No, it's that 425 gas sounds. I never thought that would sound nice.
Neither. I'd never heard of Buc-ee's either. But then I started watching the news, and they had. I've been watching these things about cars. Well, we'll talk about this because you like cars, right?
I love cars.
Well, we'll talk about it next time we talk because we've run out of time here.
Okay.
Bubs. Anyway, that's Larry Bubbles Brown. Talk to you next week, Larry.
Catch you next week. Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
And there was Larry Bubbles Brown, folks. Yeah, okay. All right, good for Larry. Let me get my sound up here. We had a little sound problem there. We had sound problems at the beginning of the show, you know. I got almost all the bugs worked out of this system, okay? You may notice my picture isn't glitching anymore. The reason is I bought a new camera. I got one. First, let me talk to Charlie here. So I can tell Charlie. I can have somebody to talk to about this, okay? Let me bring him in. Hello, Charlie. Wait a minute.
Hello.
Are you there? Okay. Good.
Just me, huh?
Yeah, just you. So, screw them all. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Jeff. Jeff can always be counted on, you know? Jeff, and you can be counted on when you haven't got a game. Hello there, Jeff. Hello.
How are you?
Yeah. Anyway, hello, Charlie. No, wait a minute. Now you got your audio up. Get rid of your browser. Just get rid of your browser, Jeff. Always remember to get rid of your browser. Okay?
Oh, wait a minute.
See?
Jeff can always be counted on, you know?
Yeah, well.
And you can be counted on when you haven't got a
Jeff.
I was here.
Oh, okay. There you go.
You got it.
You got
I'm
it.
on.
You got it.
Okay.
Anyway, what I was saying was, I decided not to wear a hat tonight. I don't know why.
I see that.
Well, my wife gave me a haircut a couple of days ago, and I figured, it looks pretty good. Wait a minute, this door keeps seeming like it's opening up. I don't know. Anyway, so I've been having, as you know, nothing but one technical problem after another. And tonight I figured, I've got it all taken care of, right? I even had a problem with with my audio going out to just the audio only stream, right? So I had to take care of that, and then I had to put a new piece of equipment for the program for that. Then I had to get that all worked out so that it works okay. So I got it mostly so it was okay, except at the very beginning there was some feedback at the very beginning of the show if you were listening to it live. And I got rid of that, and then I put on this, which is the opening, okay, to the show.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk.
Okay, so what the problem there was, it was unbelievably loud because I had a problem with my what do you call it? My volume here. You know, all these things I've got to get them working. Okay, but how's my picture look tonight?
Good.
Okay, yeah.
Huh?
You're a little bright, but outside of that,
A little bright.
yeah.
Maybe on
Like
your.
a light bulb? That's not funny. Come on.
No, it. I see it out here. It looks perfect.
Okay, maybe it's my my computer.
Yeah. How does it look to you, Brian?
They look great. You look beautiful.
Yeah. No.
Hey,
What?
can I show you a quick picture of my lovely daughter?
Oh,
I don't know if you can see that much, but so she has COVID now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So she's lounging there with her legs spread out. She has next to her, that red thing is a container of cereal, the cereal thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just lounging back there with the cereal, just jumping on it. God, so funny.
Didn't affect the appetite.
We'll get to we'll get to Adrian and her COVID, but first, let me just tell you what happened here. So I sent away for one camera, which was an Elgato, and it came here. It was $167, and it didn't work somehow because I hadn't gotten things settled with my my Zoom, which I had to change the program on Zoom. I explained that the other night. So I sent that one back. Right then I got another one, and this one was $150, and this was a Logitech camera. And I sent that back because it wouldn't work with the system. Then I changed my Zoom to a Zoom that works with the new machine that I had because it needs to work with what they call Apple Silicon. And so I sent back 2 cameras already. Now, either of those cameras might have worked, but I finally decided, what the hell, I would buy this thing called a Razor that was $101. Pretty cheap, huh? I put that thing in tonight. It looks as good, if not better, than my 4K camera. Doesn't it look good? Sharp?
Nice and sharp, yeah.
Yeah, nice and sharp. So, I don't know, so the cheapest camera I could lay my hands on was the one that did the trick. So, here we are, no glitching. My 4K Logitech glitches, all of them glitch, so there's something wrong with them working with something else. But I got everything working perfectly today, and then I go on and the music is too loud, and the this is the that, and the bed. I'm exhausted. You know what I'm going to do this weekend? I'm just going to turn off all my equipment, and I'm not going to touch it till Monday. Okay? Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then because last night I was exhausted. I had another tragedy last night at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, when I upgraded my FiOS to a new bunch of things, they gave me free a year of the Disney bundle. Well, the Disney bundle is Disney Plus, and it's ESPN Plus, and it's Hulu. Okay, so I then look and I get a bill from what do you call it? What's the money site?
PayPal.
PayPal.
Okay, yeah.
For for $12.95 for my Hulu bill for this month, and I'm going, well, I'm supposed to get Hulu for free, and then I suddenly realized, well, no, I'm on the Hulu with no commercials plan, which if I just went simply with the FiOS plan, I wouldn't have gotten it without commercials. So, but then I noticed that what they've done, what Disney's done, is very smart all the way around. I went on to Disney and they said, "Oh well, you're going to be getting only having to pay $6 a month for Hulu, because that's the $6 extra for the non-commercial plan." So, but I was up till 2:30 in the morning on the line to Hulu about that one. Then I couldn't go to sleep, so I took my pregabalin, and I also took a Xanax, and woke up this morning so zonked that I couldn't believe it. All right, and I'm very tired right now. I'm just exhausted. And then one thing after another, getting this going, getting that going. The thing that went the easiest was the installation of the new camera, which I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it online. It looks better than the 4K camera that I paid $200 for. Okay, so it's called a Razor. Yeah. And the only thing bad about it is that on Macs, it doesn't have a program to run it with, so I have to use other programs to run it. But otherwise, it was fine, But anyway, I guess, is this going to be it tonight, I guess? Well, nice bunch of people. I could... So anyway, Adrian has COVID?
Yeah, so she got COVID a few days ago, and then Adrian, I've been sleeping with Adrian like on her floor. She makes like a tent for us, and she keeps changing how we're gonna sleep. She's so excited. And then she was a little bit. Her body was warm, but her head was fine. It was cool. But she was coughing a little bit last night. So I left for work, and I brought some tests home from work. Tiffany tested herself. Now she's done with COVID. It's out of her system. And then, but Stephanie, I said test her to see, because we tested her a few days ago and she was positive, so she's still positive. I said test Adrian also just to see, and then Adrian's positive. So, yeah. So Stephanie's in her room playing her games. Adrian's in. Well, she went downstairs now.
How about you?
Yeah.
I'm staying awake. Well, no, I mean I slept with Adrian all week, and I have a little bit of sore throat, but I think it's from all the AC
Have you
on.
told Adrian to stay away from you?
Yeah, so she came down with her mask on, and she like was across the couch and put her arm up where mine was and touched me. So yeah. So.
Oh boy. Well, you got it now.
Oh yeah. So if I did, but we're all in the car together. Simon hasn't got it, and Simon said, "Should I test today?" And I said, "No." Do you have symptoms? He said, "No." And I said, "Then go to the gym. Have fun while you can." So yeah. So.
Wow.
Don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I should just, get it now and get it over with, or try to keep running from it.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
The problem is there's no getting it over with, because you can catch it multiple times.
And that's what I told Tiffany too. So I told her,
I'm not even going outdoors now. I'm not even going out. I'm not going to the store. I'm not doing anything, because here in New York, it is just running rampant.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like you said before, it's running. I mean, it's very contagious, and people are very lax about stuff, and everybody's gonna get it now. It won't be that harsh, but it's just gonna happen, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm going to. It's all Biden's fault.
Yeah.
And I'm going to vote for Trump. Charlie.
Tony convinced you like
Tony's right. Tony's speaks the truth. I wonder what Tony. Tony, are you out there? Because I really want to ask you something. What do you want to ask me, Alex? I want to ask you how you feel about the fact that gas is down by 30 cents a gallon.
Yep.
And the unemployment rate is down, and the employment rate is up. Okay. Come on, Tony, where are you? Come on.
300,000 new jobs.
300,000 new jobs.
And everything. I mean, house prices, when I started looking, remember we were talking with Ray the other night, and house prices are going down. The car stuff is going down, or at least it's mellowing out right now, like the exotics. They're starting to sort of see some a little bit lower prices. So, I mean, everything's starting to take that turn. And here we go with COVID cases continuing to go up. We rate Sunnyvale. I'm on one call, upper management, and we have one quick slide that rates how many cases and then how many people are out for COVID, like the self-quarantine. And it was coming down. April was down to like 7 people, and now it's starting to pick up again. So I mean, everything's showing that it's picking up everywhere.
Wow. So I mean, the thing is that I don't know what we're going to do about COVID. Okay. I mean, this thing just doesn't seem to be going away. Now, granted, I mean, even, okay, I just talked to my business manager today. Guess who has COVID? My business manager.
Everybody.
He went to Europe on vacation. And I said, well, that's the trouble. You went to Europe. Talk about a dirty place to go. And he was kidding me about it, but he was in Germany and he was in places like that, and come on, plus you get on a goddamn airplane.
I was in Sweden, playing for 10 hours, no mask, no nothing.
Something.
The Mexican cruise, same thing.
Okay, there is a new slight theory that there are some people that are immune, that just are immune for some odd reason. They don't know why. They don't, But maybe you're that. Either that or you spoke too soon, and by Monday, you know.
That's why I went to work today, because now with the whole contact thing with Adrian and I, now it's going to be the COVID response team is reviewing my case right now, but Monday I think they may say stay home for another week. So
if I were you, if I were your company, I would tell you to stay home. You know, because if every member of your family's gotten COVID except for you, you know, it's only a matter of time if in fact you don't have some kind of basic immunity. And you test yourself. I tested Marjorie today because she woke up feeling terrible, just feeling terrible. And I just said, well, let's do it, you know. And I gave her the test and she was fine.
Oh, that's good.
She didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I can still watch television with her. Although she's gotten to the point where I can't watch television with her because all she wants to watch are these dopey movies.
The Lifetime movies?
No, but just, you know, I mean,
Girly.
and I say to her, like, she'll start binge watching something on Netflix. And I can't stand Netflix anymore. There's nothing there for me to watch. Okay? But she loves Netflix. And she starts binge watching these things. And I see her binge watching something. I said, you know, you watched that before. I have.
So what?
I mean, all she does is she gets up in the morning, turns on the television set. Right now, tennis, okay, because she's a big tennis fan. And then it's on to one movie after another. And I'm going, come on, you know, read a book, do something else. You know, I get on my computer and do some work and try to put a show together here, you know, so.
Tiffany watches a lot of Korean drama stuff, so she has me watching one. Actually, it's pretty good. It's like a thief story thingy, so. But you gotta read all the subtitles.
Why does she watch Korean stuff? She's not Korean.
Korean, no, but you know, a lot of Asian like Korean drama, all the love story stuff.
So Brian, I missed the part. Is Adrian is she positive?
Yeah.
She tested positive this morning. She was coughing last night in bed. So.
Did she get a vaccination?
Yes.
So what does a vaccination do? I guess it stops you from getting it really bad.
I think, you know,
Hospitalization and death.
Yeah, well, and maybe not now because, but definitely, you know, 6 months ago, a year ago, for sure, that was, you know, helping people not get to the hospital.
Adrian, if you can hear me, don't come in. You have cooties. What?
But the kid, Stephanie and her, if they stay in their room, they can have their mask off. But if they come out, they have to have their mask on. So.
Yeah, but you know something? Everybody goes, oh, it's so terrible. All these kids at school had to wear masks and so on. Kids don't mind wearing masks, do they?
Yeah, no, they don't.
It's adults who can't stand wearing masks.
Did they have contact tracing? How'd you find out that? Do you know where she got it from, Brian?
Yeah, her mother.
Yeah, her mother. Yeah, exactly. But her mother was last weekend or 2 weekends ago, before 4th of July, went to her show. Tiffany went to her sister's house, and her sister's husband had it. They didn't know, so they were over there together. And then Tiffany came home, and she got it when she saw him. You know, all of them at the house. So.
Boy, this thing has got to be contagious as hell.
2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah. And then so then. Yep. So Tiffany had it last week, and then Stephanie started getting it over the weekend, and then now Adrian.
What did I read that they're coming up with a new vaccination that is just going to take care of all of this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what we were told about the last one.
Away.
What?
It's a long ways away, is what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get a look at the flu shot, for instance. Trying to get a flu shot they've been trying for 20 years to get a one and done flu shot.
Well, I mean, you can't expect that because every year it's a different flu.
Well, COVID is we've had 5 variants.
Yeah, but they feel that they can come up with a COVID vaccination that takes into account any mutations that might happen.
It'd be great if it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what the game changer is Paxlovid.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, that's another Pfizer drug, and Paxlovid. You know, supposedly it knocks it out. When you take your first pill, it knocks it out. You know.
I don't know. I'll take your word for it. My stock's doing well. I have Pfizer stock, so.
Okay, well, you can take us all out to dinner.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The only point is we can't go to a restaurant because they're all infected. You know, we got this mayor here in this town, and he is just the worst. I mean, he's suddenly loosened up all the restrictions in New York. Well, you know, I'm sorry. You don't get loosey-goosey this early in the game. That's my feeling.
Well, I think all the governors we shut down and then we remasked and then we opened up and back and forth and it's all political.
Well, they say people are
it has nothing to do with medical.
Yeah, people are tired of this. Well, it doesn't matter that you're tired
the
of it.
virus isn't tired.
Right, exactly. And
people are going to let it mutate, and then we're going to end up with another Delta. It won't be called Delta, but you know what I mean. It's going to be killing a lot of people. You know? I mean, Dr. Fauci was real clear about a month ago. He said, because of all the people that didn't get a vaccine in the early part of this country will never have herd immunity from COVID.
Well, even if tomorrow everybody went out and got shots?
Too many variants out there.
There's so many variants, and with the latest variants, the vaccine's not working real well.
What he's saying is, in the very beginning, when we only had like one strain, if everybody had gone out and gotten,
if everybody in the country that was eligible could go out and get it, we might have been a lot closer to herd immunity. But he says there's no chance now. So I mean, you know, like Brian's kids will probably never be able to see COVID and herd immunity. I mean, you gotta. Part of the deal is you've got to vaccinate the world. You got to get herd immunity around the world.
Let's go to the future now. And Adrian is 20 years old. Okay.
Hopefully it'll be gone by then.
Huh? Do you think it'll be gone by then?
I said hopefully it'll be gone.
Or do you think it won't be?
I don't know. The Spanish flu is still out there. Think about that.
But we you know, the Spanish flu, if it happened today, would be easily handled because we have antibiotics and things like that. It wasn't that terrible a flu compared, but it was that we didn't have any stuff for it.
We still get every year in the United States that you get a flu shot. It includes vaccination for the Spanish flu. If you look at the numbers on what's in the vaccine, H1N1 is the Spanish flu, and every year it has H1N1.
H1N1 is a Spanish flu, because I always hear about H1N1.
Yep. It's the number they gave many years ago when they started vaccinating, but we're still getting vaccinated against Spanish flu.
But why did so many people die of Spanish flu? Because they didn't have any way to handle it, right?
They didn't have vaccines. They didn't have You know, the way they slowed it down dramatically is some smart health doctor in San Francisco said we need everybody to start wearing masks, and that day it was all cloth masks, but it dramatically changed the course of the flu in a period of a year and a half. So.
Well, look who joined us. It's a lovely and attractive Tony. Tony, let's see your whole face. Come on, Tony. Come on. Just there you go. Hello, Tony. How you doing?
I still hate Biden. Other than that.
Well, wait a minute. Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah. I'm only joking.
Today, it turns out that there are more people employed than have been in the past.
I heard him crowing about that.
Boy, no. The unemployment rate has gone down.
True.
Gas is down by 30 cents now.
I know. Phil must be happy, Alex.
Huh?
Phil must be happy about that.
Yeah, it's not down that much in the Bay Area, but it's down.
It's down 30 cents nationally.
I paid under $6 a gallon today for the first time.
Yeah. Okay. So now, Tony, all these things that were Biden's fault are also things that Biden is starting to correct. So what do you think about that? Or do you just not like old people?
I like old people, just not him, Alex. I don't know. I mean,
Come on. You were griping about the gas. Probably you go to the store tomorrow, you'll find steak is 30 cents cheaper than it was last week,
I mean, Primo sausage, I got it on sale, 6 for $2. I told Shecky, that's a deal. I was in the supermarket, the guy said,
well, that's Biden's do. That's Biden's
$2.
do.
Oh, that sounds gross. What's it made with? Horse meat?
no, Primo, they use it at City Field, actually. It's the sausage of the Met game, too. When you go to the baseball game.
Sounds nasty.
Yeah, baseball.
I make it with spinach. I dice it up, Alex, and I put onions in it and stuff.
Very good. You're such a gourmet.
I try. That's my mother's recipe. Alex, I just can't take the man. I really being honest about it. There's something about him. He's doddery.
So why don't you leave?
Well, no, that's being ageist. That's being ageist.
Okay, how about this? He's always cranky. Is that being?
I'm always cranky.
But you got a reason, because you like to be cranky. We can live with that. But Alex, you even said it. He was bothering you too a little bit.
No, I think that he. I hope he doesn't run for president again. Okay, I hope somebody else comes along, and he goes. You have a better chance of getting elected than me, and he gives the Democratic Party a chance, a fighting chance.
Can I ask you a
here.
question, Alex?
What?
At his age, and I don't mean it in a bad sense. Let me rephrase that. He's not in the best shape. Should he really be bicycling at 78 years old?
Bicycling?
On the tricycle.
What? You don't want him to be healthy?
But it's like a photo op. He hits a little crack and he's going head first. I mean, come on now. We know it's a photo op. Here I come, and there he goes. I'm like,
Yeah, but, well, when Trump was president, maybe we should have installed escalators to get on board Air Force One. They have him walking up the steps. Griffin almost fell down the steps.
At my age, I won't get. At my age, I won't get on a bicycle. You know why?
Alex,
Wait a minute. You know why? Wait a minute. You know why?
Because you're old.
Because I'm old. Exactly. I just wanted, and the other factor is I'm lazy as fuck. Yeah.
But Biden's having teleprompter issues now.
Yeah, that was funny today.
End of quote, and then he read repeat that line or something like that.
It was supposed to not be read.
I'm going to vote for president. I'm going to vote for the guy who doesn't look like he's reading a teleprompter. I don't care if he is. Just doesn't look like he is. I mean, did Obama ever look like he was reading off a teleprompter?
Never. I've gone back and listened to a couple of his speeches, and it's like, oh my God! It's like, who is this God? where is this guy from? Because it's like totally different than we've seen this last.
Well, also, I mean, I loved Trump with the teleprompter. He made no bones about it. He just kind of leaned there like he's reading something. And then he'd throw in a couple of little side words, which then would get him in trouble, But I mean, but that's who Tony likes. Tony loves Donald Trump.
I heard on Trump's teleprompter that if they were talking about a dog, they just showed a picture of a dog.
Oh, remember those notes that they showed, and it was like really big print.
Yes.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah. Our president was, as they say in Boston, our president was retarded.
yeah.
Tony, if Trump runs again, you can invite him to your house and make him your primo sausages, and they'll probably have you executed right after he makes president again.
Yeah.
Coming up with some.
By the way, yeah.
I can't cook, so whatever.
Yeah, well, Shecky has a special chef now at his house.
That's me.
I know, that's what I
I'm
heard.
gonna leave you some of my food. I should leave you my rice pudding out. You'd like it. My mother's rice.
I wouldn't eat it.
Why?
Because it's got sugar in it.
Oh yeah, you're right. A half a cup, Alex.
Yeah.
I looked at her old recipe. I had such a hard time deciphering it, what she put in. It's not a hard recipe, but she used to always make it. So I had my sister come over and says, "Can you understand her writing?" And she says, "Oh, that looks like she put in heavy cream." I said, oh, because I couldn't understand what she wrote. Because some people leave the heavy cream out. She put it in with the milk and the sugar. Yeah, it is really creamy though. I have to say, I was just eating some before I called.
Mm-hmm.
I nuked it like for 30 seconds and I mixed it. It was good. I was watching the Yankee game.
It looks like baby shit, rice pudding. Come on.
Well, I'll tell you, they do have a great rice pudding store here in New York called Rice to Riches or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's down in the Village, and man, they have all kinds of different flavors, you know, and I'm jonesing for it. Jeez,
Alex,
it's good.
I'll leave you some. If you want, I'll make you a batch.
No, I don't want yours. I want the stuff down to this Rice to Riches. I don't want the crap you're coming up with, because eventually I'm going to get a call from Shecky saying I got the worst stomach ache from something that Tony made.
3 days after eating Tony's food.
No, he raved about a couple of my dishes. Those were my mother's recipes, actually. We learned how to cook them.
Well, Alex raved about the fish place too.
Yeah, I loved it. I came back here and said I had the greatest tuna tartare tonight. Wonderful. Yeah. And the next day they're hauling me off to the hospital.
My mother used to say you got to be careful eating fish in a restaurant. You never know if they're clean it.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she never used to get fish eaten out because she says you got to make sure they clean it. God forbid.
Well, of course they clean the fish.
But she was always.
But you see, I always eat raw tuna. I mean, I love raw tuna.
Oh, you'll eat tuna fish out of the can?
No, Jesus! What kind of a chef are you? Tuna out of a can. Oh yeah, that's really great tuna. I'm talking about you get these. You get the tuna fillets, and then you chop them up raw. Okay, and maybe cube them, and then you take a pair of chopsticks and you fill up a bowl full of soy sauce and wasabi, and then you start eating your tuna. That's what I do. I go down the street here to this fish market. I get some tuna, bring it back, and we eat it raw. Maybe if you're going to cook it, you cook it so it's seared slightly on every side, but is very rare in the middle. And then that's one way to cook it. Am I right? Anybody disagree with me about this? Am I right, Jeff?
I like it both ways. I eat sushi.
I don't eat it.
What?
And I've had tuna where they stir it on both sides.
Me and Jeff don't eat that. Yeah, I'll just eat fish cakes.
Well, I mean, do you ever go and get sushi?
No, my brother eats fish.
Yeah, okay. Well, sushi is raw.
Yeah, I don't.
I said
fish cakes and frozen fish.
I don't eat it on purpose anymore.
Oh, you don't eat it on purpose. Yeah. So I have to say, hey, this is cooked steak, and then give it to you.
Yeah,
I have to fool you. Yeah. You kind of look like you were cringing over raw tuna, right, Charlie?
I do not eat raw fish at all.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know the
If it ain't cooked, I don't eat it.
The Japanese do, and they're still all alive.
Good for them.
Do you eat cooked fish, Charlie?
No, I don't even eat cooked fish.
There you go. You don't like fish. Okay.
Oh, I do not eat fish.
Well, I want more. Like I like ahi tuna tower. You know what I'm talking about, Brian? Where it's like a tower and it's got avocado, and then it's got a layer of the tuna, and then it's got some whatever. Just one to die for. Die for, if you get it.
Yeah, I love sushi and sashimi.
Yeah, and so that's why when I had an opportunity to have some, tuna tartare, cool, Well, not at that place anymore.
But sometimes I've had food, or I've eaten somewhere, and then I've gotten sick, and maybe it's not from that, or maybe it is from that, and I've thrown that up, and then I can't have that again because I don't want that taste in my mouth.
Nope.
Because it will remind me of that episode.
The taste of what in your mouth?
So Tiffany's mom. So she had. Let me make sure it's locked. No, she had this Vietnamese salad, and this happened to me before. but this last time it was some kind of salad with some octopus, I don't know what it was in there, and it just had a weird taste. And I ate it, and then like that night I threw up, and I threw that up.
Well, you know
and
what you have to do. Was it a Vietnamese dish?
Yes.
Well, here's what you got to do. You got to napalm it first.
Terrible.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, and I've had that before. I had some other stuff, and that I can't have that because I feel like when I taste that,
you know what's interesting? You should, on Monday we did our Monday show, which was wonderful. It was like having our own little July 4th cookout. You know, we have people all in their different places with their families. Jeff had his family around him, and then you were out at the park with your family, and your 90-year-old. What's the relationship of her to you?
So that's Adrian's grandmother. Adrian's great grandmother. Yes.
Great grandmother, and I thought of her. She's 90 years old. She was there for the Vietnam War, wasn't she?
Yeah. And her husband just passed away last year, and they're both in their 90s. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. But where were they living during that war?
In Da Nang. So Da Nang wasn't really hit that bad, but you know, there's a beach. That's China Beach.
But Da Nang, is that in South Vietnam or north?
Mid, but on the coast.
Really?
Where China Beach was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it was
like medical, a lot of medical. When I flew down there last time, you still see any of those? I don't know what those are called. Those. Remember Gomer Pyle?
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have a bunch of those there, and they have all the war stuff and.
You know, it's interesting that this is a country that we were at war with. I hate to say that. We actually caused a war against. That's probably a better way of putting it. And the decimation that we did and the war that we had over there. And the fact was that this was a nation that, given that the war was over, suddenly became our friends, right? They became a neighboring nation. And it's such a shame what we did over there. Just such a shame.
Well, Japan's the same thing. I mean, Japan attacked us, but we're friends with Japan.
But that's even longer ago. I mean, as soon as that war was over, we started healing. We started saying, let's start doing trade and business and so on and so forth.
Money to be made. Yeah.
I will bet that our relationship with Russia is going to be screwed up for a long time.
I think it's been screwed up forever anyway. Even ever since World War II, it's been screwed up.
Yeah.
You know, ever since we didn't start that second front in Europe, which we were going to do in order to help them. That we never did it, and so what resulted were millions upon millions of Russians getting killed because of us.
Yeah, well, we also the Russians killed a lot of Jews. It wasn't just
but the Jews always are that get killed. You know, and I start thinking, after I hear about all these stories about how this group of people tried to kill the Jews, and the Nazis tried to kill the Jews, and so on. And my whole attitude is, what is it we're doing that pisses people off? That's what I'm trying to figure out,
Yeah, and then, me, I hung out with a lot of Vietnamese before, and I still have a lot of Vietnamese friends, but was really hanging out with a lot of them. And I mean, we take it for granted for being here, but man, when you hear the stories about Vietnamese coming here, on the boats and stuff like that, I mean, the stories that I've heard, and you guys have heard stuff about, the pirates getting the ships, raping the women, throwing them overboard because then they're useless to them, all these kind of things, and they still do anything possible just to get here. And they don't come here for them. Her family are full of doctors, but then they come here, they can't be doctors because nothing translates for them over here. But they still come here, and they come here for their kids, so their kids have a better life. And it's just, I mean, I don't think I would sacrifice every single thing I have right now, hop on a boat with Tiffany, go across the ocean, and try to make a life for some other, country out there that is like, is like the place to be, So and for them to do all that stuff is pretty. pretty.
Well, to think that they were in the midst of, well, how many years ago was that war now? We tend to think of it as just finished a few.
45 years ago.
It was 45 years ago that it ended.
75.
When did it end?
75.
75. So that's a long time ago. In fact, Tiffany probably wasn't born yet, was she?
She was born when I was junior in high school.
You know, Brian, it's a good thing your eating is not like sex. Because you know, the first couple times I ever had sex, I got sick.
Oh, really?
But I went back to having sex again. So, you know, you can't eat something again. Yeah,
that's funny because I had a tendency to make every woman I was with nauseous. So it was.
No, I think the first girl.
Oh, there we go. Here comes the infected one, the one who passed the infection to everybody.
The one that started everything. Get out of here.
I think that the only time I've
and now she just saunters in. She can saunter in because she doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she can get it again, so she needs to be careful.
They still said 5 days after you test negative, you can still pass it on. I don't know.
Who knows? We don't know.
That's my excuse I'm using.
We don't know crap. We just, you know, in the beginning it was like, be sure you hose yourself down before you come into the house.
This is a new disease. We've only been dealing with this for 2.5 years.
But it may be a new disease, but it's not a new disease because it is an offshoot of certain diseases that we've had in the past, and we should know how to handle it because of its, you know, of what it is. But we don't. We don't know what to do.
We're learning. I mean, it's pretty amazing. I mean, you're not in the medical community. Brian probably knows this though, but it's pretty amazing. In less than a year, we figured out what it was, and then we had a vaccine in less than a year. That is like
I understand though the vaccine that we had was already they've been working on it for 15 years or something like that.
The way that the not the vaccine, but
the methodology.
Thank you, methodology. Yeah, it's been around for 20 years. They developed it for MERS or SARS or something like that, and those didn't take off very big around here.
Yeah. So anyway,
like our company, we're a position for this because we've been doing for respiratory diseases for flu A, flu 1, and then RSV. So yeah, so I mean we're ready for it. We're always ready for these kind of things. So for us, it was a little bit easier because we already had a platform to start with.
Yep.
So.
Well, do you think that the vaccine has been a game changer? Has it been that effective that it's a game changer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If you remember before the when Delta was around and stuff, and people were not as vaccinated, and people were dying 5, 6, 10,000 people a day in this country alone.
Yeah.
And now that they're vaccinated, although the vaccine's not working very well against mild disease, it's still working pretty well against hospitalization and death.
Well, I kind of. What?
I could say the thing we just actually had a press release a couple days ago is for leukemia, where we've been testing for leukemia for a while, and now we're starting to get into the monitoring of it for patients at home now. So even though that's why I really like our company, because we put so much money into R&D, not just looking at what's right now, but we continue to keep going on the future stuff, even with COVID going on.
Are they publicly held or privately held?
It's private now. Okay. Well, Danaher's public. So.
Yeah. So Tony, are you going to get COVID again?
You know, I actually took a COVID test yesterday. This morning.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I had the sniffles. I had the 2 test kits. One was used. It was sitting there on the counter. So let me just test. So I tested this morning, and it was negative.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, you're not supposed to stick the Q-tip in the end of your penis. It's supposed to go in your nose.
15 seconds, 15. You know.
But he does it because it feels good, Alan.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But I have more anxiety from not having it right now than having it, I think, because I keep thinking that I'm sick I have a sore throat, and I'm this. Oh my god!
If you suddenly had it, you could go in and hang
you're not
out
even
with the
Jewish, Brian.
you could actually go in and hang out with the kids. You know?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to do car stuff this weekend. So at least if I'm locked down for a week.
We should send you a thermometer so you can check your forehead all the time, like Alex did.
I have one.
Well, you know, I mean, I check my temperature all the time because your temperature does go up, doesn't it? That's
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
It varies, like your blood pressure. It varies throughout the day.
when
She
you.
never had a temperature, Alex, my mother. I had the electronic thing that you have,
Yeah.
and I was testing her. She never ran a temperature. So
Did you put a battery in it?
He was always normal. I was testing myself and her. I was like, we never had a temperature.
You know that it comes with a battery. You got to install it before it works, Tony.
I got it at CVS. It still works.
You got it at CVS.
You know, one of those electronic jobs, which was on the lock and key because they were getting robbed so much.
I love how you go to the goddamn
Everything is locked up.
drugstore and everything is locked up. And then you
Locked up.
can't go find the person with the key.
Exactly.
How do they ever sell anything in those places? You know?
I saw. I mean, me and my sister, like, we never had this when we were kids getting stuff. Now everything is locked up half the time. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Changing the subject a little bit, I understand some medical group is going to take a ship, not a big ship, but like a cruise, not a cruise ship, a yacht, and put
A big steaming ship.
Put it in international waters where off of Texas, where they're going to be able to do abortions.
That's the rumor.
Yep, that would be great.
You know something? They have to be 12 miles out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
International waters. I think it's 12 miles.
So
Texas
how do you
is
get
the
them
most
out?
stop.
How do they get out there?
Helicopter.
Yeah, but wait a
I
minute.
don't
But wait a
know, a
minute.
boat, a rowboat, a
It's got.
I don't know.
It's got to be something that the poor people can do. Okay, you know, the rich people don't have a problem getting an
So
abortion.
they've got funds. I keep getting these solicitations to help with these organizations that will pay for women to travel.
Be careful.
Well, I mean, you know, in Florida, Disney will any of the people who want an abortion, they will pay for them to go to another state to get it.
Right.
You
Give
know.
them time off, too.
I mean, I can hardly wait till the state of Florida decides to pass some kind of law where it's illegal to, you know, do that for your
Well,
employees.
DeSantis and Disney are just like hateful towards
Yeah.
Well, somebody pointed out, isn't that great? And then I think one of you pointed out, well, it's cheaper than having to pay maternity leave.
Somebody pointed that out. Yep, it is.
You know, but I mean, do companies? The question is then going to be we're going to have so many legal actions in all of this that so many questions are going to be asked that this court is going to have. By the way, did you see Biden today go after the court?
Yes.
And just say they become like rogue, you know.
Yep. This was settled law. This is so silly. I mean, it's not silly.
Well, it's not silly. It's very
so sad.
serious.
It's so sad. This was settled law 50 years ago. Jesus.
Well, you know. Oh, here's something you can blame on Biden. By the way, Tony, just in case you're looking for something, Larry Storch died today.
No, that's true. But I thought he was dead already. I was going to tell Alex, he was in his 90s.
He was
99.
99.
Yeah, almost 100.
99.
Oh, and you want to know something scary? I was going to tell you this, Alex. This is totally off topic. Do you know Potsy wants to run for political office from Anson Williams from Happy Days?
Yep.
What the hell does he know about anything?
Well, then what does Trump know about anything?
What was it, Gopher or whatever on the Love Boat ran for Congress and got elected?
I mean, haven't we learned about not voting for people who are on television? You know.
Yeah, look at Reagan. He worked out so well.
Yeah, he worked out great.
If you were rich, you were in good shape with him. If you were middle class, they kicked you to the curb.
And if you were poor, you don't even exist.
Really took a beating.
You know. Yeah. But Larry Storch dead. Okay. So.
I can see Tony's broken.
Now here, imagine this for a second, okay? Charlie, you know who Larry Storch is?
Yeah.
Jeff, do you know who Larry Storch is?
I used to.
Yeah.
Never.
You know who Larry Storch is, Alan? Tony, you know who Larry Storch is?
Yep. Yeah.
Brian, do you know who Larry Storch is?
Yes, because I saw Shecky's post.
Oh,
If you ask me, though, I didn't know who he was.
He was on F Troop. Didn't you ever watch that as a kid?
I saw the picture.
Now, let's do
know the
this.
hat. Yeah, but
I mean, Brian is what? How old are you now, Brian?
Yeah,
I forget.
Well, let's see.
53 or 4 or 5 or something.
53 or 4 or 5, yeah, something like that. Okay, but you probably would not remember Larry Storch. I mean, we all find that impossible. Who hasn't heard of Larry Storch? Well, people our age have.
But only F Troop, or was he in other stuff?
Huh?
Was he in other stuff or just F Troop?
Basically, he's known most for F Troop.
F Troop, but I think there's some, other TV shows and movies. He was in a few movies.
Yeah, but he was not as well known.
Yeah, he was never the big star in the movie.
Well, F Troop was in like the late '60s and early '70s, right?
No, it was '60s.
Well, I remember watching it as a kid on TV.
I'll tell you right now.
Syndication. Yeah.
Wow.
F Troop.
I didn't think about that. That might have been reruns.
F Troop. Well, yeah, you could live with the reruns. F Troop was 1965.
Yeah.
How many years ago is that?
Yeah, and so I was probably watching it.
57.
Yeah, I was probably watching it in the '70s because I remember it somewhat.
I didn't.
I was 30 years old.
Yeah. And here's F Troop.
I was in high school in '65. Yeah, I remember watching it.
In case people don't know who we're talking about, hold on a second. Let me see here. Computer. Let me see here.
Don't you hold up the mouse.
Hold on. For people out there, this is Larry Storch right here. That guy right there. That guy there. That's Larry Storch. In case you don't know. Okay. So,
there he is. Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought I would just. Let's see here. Maybe I can get a better picture of him.
Now he's got a dirt bed for the rest of his life.
Rest of his life.
The rest of his life. Yeah, I guess he has no life. I guess he's in a dirt bed now.
Yeah.
Very.
Here, I got a better picture of him. Hold on a second. Computer. Okay. There we go.
First time.
There we go. There he is. See? Right there.
Don't anybody tell Alex he's missing his hat.
What?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, no, I decided not to wear the hat tonight.
Well, if you're gonna not wear one, I gotta show off my bald spot too. Jesus.
Well, then that looks.
Your lighting's better. I'll leave my hat on.
I have a better shaped head.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that was Larry Storch. So
you really got to search the internet to find pictures of you with a full head of hair.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I spent an hour one day watching different clips of you. You were at one hotel in San Francisco and interviewing comedians, and Larry King was there, and a couple other people, and you had your receding hairline thing going, and and you were interviewed by some news station about you and another DJ that they were always putting together. I forget the other DJ.
So do you have any other insulting things you want to say about me?
I don't think it's insulting. I don't mind my hair the way it is.
No, what happened was I was one of the kind. Most people, when they're losing their hair, like you, keep every inch of it that they possibly can. And one day I had a friend, Robert Schimmel, who said, if I were you, because I still had hair up here. He said, I would just shave the top of your head, and then shave it really close on the sides like this. He said, he called it preemptive baldness. And what it does is that it's not like you're trying to hide it, and don't grow it long in the back, because you get that Danny DeVito look.
Yeah.
I can't grow mine long. It starts curling. So
Yeah, so at some point you might consider just shaving it off. Yeah.
I've done it once. I didn't like I don't know. I didn't like brushing my hair with a wash rag. I guess.
Well, I mean, it might make you look better, but I think there's an old saying that goes, you can do a lot of things in life, but you can't shine shit. So it's a little philosophy. Little philosophy for you.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't that big of a deal to me because ever since I was a kid, I wore a baseball cap. And some of my friends have never seen me without a hat off, and I take my hat off to adjust my hair in a restaurant or somewhere we're out, and they're like, you're follically challenged. I'm like, I've been this way for
I don't wear a cap for any other reason, but that, it usually keeps the sun out of my eyes, and when I'm here in the studio, it keeps the lights out of my eyes.
I think I got like 40 of them that I alternate, and I think I got another 100 of them that are brand new.
But I think I look better. I think I look better tonight without it than I did with it.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Yeah. All that matters.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm trying to pick it. There we go.
I'm the opposite. I've never been a hat guy. Never.
If I had hair like yours, I probably wouldn't either. But I mean, I wore baseball caps.
I'm 6'4", so you don't know what's going on up here. That's a good thing.
Are you losing a little bit there, soft crown?
Oh yeah. It's your mother's father. My mother's father was Italian, had light, had the gray hair, had a wavy. My hair is really wavy, and he was.
Well, you get baldness from your maternal grandfather.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
My maternal grandfather was bald.
Yeah. Like a cue ball.
So Simon, I always show him his grandfather. I said, just remember, you better love that hair while you got it.
Yes.
I mean, I guess I was probably in my early 50s where I started losing it. Sorry, Brian. I had a full head of hair like that, and people would tell me all the time, "Oh, you got this great hair. You'll never go bald." What did they know?
Well, what I love about Adrienne, she loves to show her flexibility. That picture you have of her with the legs straight up in the air, like she's like
she does swimming. I've been teaching her swimming, so she's been swimming now, and then she does something, and then she stops and she lifts her leg up. It's like everything now she ends up, she lifts her leg up.
Yeah, well, as I said the other night to her, do it while you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you get to be in your 20s, and that's going to get a little more difficult.
Unless you're a gymnast or you do a lot of stretching.
Well, even gymnasts, lose that flexibility with time. By the way, did you see that Biden gave people the Medal of Honor, and Simone Biles was one of the ones who got it.
And the Republicans are bitching that he turned one of the medals the wrong way.
Really?
I mean, he didn't do it. I watched the video where he gave the medals. What are they bitching at? He gave three lifelong Republicans the medal.
Well, and those are the ones he turned the other way.
He gave John McCain, long overdue.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Simone Biles and Denzel Washington.
Denzel got COVID. They just announced he got COVID.
Is that the reason he wasn't there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tested positive for COVID.
Well, whatever. Hey, there's our theme song. Boy, it's been very nice tonight. It's been a nice little bunch of people talking, enjoying themselves, and the numbers have been pretty good too. See, we can do it without you, Phil. Anyway, it's very nice of you to all be here this evening. Nice you could drop by and join the program. And thank you very much, Charlie. Always a pleasure. Jeff, great. You're still up in Cape Cod, right?
I'm leaving tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow I'm coming home.
Tomorrow they're evicting you from up there. Brian, so nice to see you. Sorry about the whole family coming down and being with the cooties.
I'm going to go downstairs.
You got to go downstairs in your own home. God.
I don't have anywhere to sleep anymore. I don't know where I'm going to sleep.
Alan, thank you so much for being here. And Tony, oh God. I can't tell you what joy it gives me to not
I
have
have
to
an
speak
old
to you.
mattress in the garage. You're welcome to, Brian.
Anyway, everybody give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you and say so long, folks. Wait a minute.
Have a good weekend.
Oh, I see here. There we go. I pushed the wrong button because the button's over here. And anyway, thank you all. Listen, Jack Bishop is next. He's here with The Intersection. He will be here talking to you and taking your calls on Skype at GabNet Live. Okay, give him a call. In the meantime, I'm out of here until Monday at 4 o'clock when on Facebook we'll do the pop-up. And then next Wednesday we're back here at 10:30 for another little go-round of the Ramble. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her. Have a nice night, everybody. Bye-bye.